Hey, what do you say? So just got back from Jamaica last night. Whew. Let me tell you, that was a lot of rum, a lot of sun, and here it is, like 68 degrees or something in Wisconsin. There's my neighbor Danny over there, having his kidney taken out. He had his heart taken out like 30 years ago. He doesn't have a heart. Now he's gonna be without a kidney. Okay, so yeah, so one day back, I figure might as well do something here, see what's going on. I think I wanted to do something with this wire because I noticed that this wire is pretty thick. And so what I want to do is try to strip it and see what we get from it and see if it makes a difference from a weight perspective. Because I'm going to get $1.50 a pound for this, but I'm going to get like $3.50 a pound for the copper. And obviously there's way more copper there than there is plastic coating. So, and there's a lot of it in here. I don't know if it's all that good. That's not as good, but you know, what the heck. Might as well give it a try. We'll weigh it up and see what we get. Okay, so that's really the only wire that I can find in this bucket. The rest of this stuff is a little too small to strip. I mean, I could, but don't think it'd be worth it, and you'd end up getting a lot of needles, and I definitely don't want that. So we'll get this set up. I'm gonna weigh it first and see what we get. Okay, so I'm just elevating this, putting a bucket underneath so I can see the numbers here. So I'll tear it out. I'd be surprised if I have a pound of wire here. We'll see. Okay, 2.1 pounds, 2.175. So at $1.50 a pound, well, we'll get that written down. Okay, so at 2.17 pounds, times $1.50 a pound equals $3.26. Now that's what I would get if I just sent it in as wire like that. So now we're going to strip it and see what we end up with. Okay, we ran a test piece through. I think we're going to get needles. Oh, there goes one. I just flung it in the air. Okay, so even though you had a perforated edge here, it still made some needles. Put my bucket down here. See if we can loosen it just a touch. Cutting it at all. Looks like that touch was give it a try. Gonna get poked. I just know it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that worked pretty good. But man. That's a bad thing about cutting pieces so small, so thin. I don't even know if you could see it, but that thing it'll cut you. Cut you like a knife. Then they get all over the floor. You don't want to waste it. But you don't want to pick them up either. So what the heck do you do? Okay, let's try this one. Okay, that's decent. Oh man. Torture device. Stuff going everywhere. So my neighbor, Danny, who I showed you earlier, he went in for some chest x-rays, don't know why, and that's when they found a spot. The doctor's like, hey, what's that? Turned out to be a cancer spot about the size of a grape on his kidney. So tomorrow, he's having his kidney removed. Instead of having to go through chemo and radiation and all that nonsense, they're just taking the kidney out. So it's really lucky that they found it how they did. And it looks like it hasn't spread anywhere else because it's still in the kidney, so he should be good to go once they take that out. No. My wife is home. Her first day after vacation. Hey, honey. Wasn't getting back to work awesome?
Yeah. It went good. Considering first day back. It went good.
Would you have rather been in Jamaica
Yeah.
or here? At
I'd
work.
rather been, why would mine be in the
At
home?
work or Jamaica?
Or home would be nice.
Well, yeah.
Did you feed these two?
No, I didn't.
Oh, they seem very mellow.
Now, if you ask me if I'd rather be at work or in Jamaica, I would probably say at work. Not because I love work, but because I had had enough of Jamaica. And I get to come home after work and be in my house. Getting some decent copper out of this. Ah. Almost done already. Okay, try to get this all peeled now. Yeah, so a week ago Saturday, March 1st, is when we went to Jamaica. Got there on Saturday around probably to the resort about 2 o'clock, 2:30. And check into the hotel, get our rooms, go down to the swim up bar, and my brother-in-law, a couple people were already in. They don't waste any time. So that was a good time. just even for the day you get there, to be able to get some activity in, you feel like you're kind of stealing a day. And Sunday rolls around, and that's when I had my day. And you know, you start out small and have some pina coladas at 10:30 in the morning, 10 in the morning when that bar opens up. And then they had a little bar, a little food bar there that you could go get whatever you wanted. They had jerk chicken and potato wedges, some nachos if you wanted nachos. And so you really didn't need to go back to your room for anything until dinner. So I was plenty pickled by dinner time on Sunday. I mean, I was loose, talking to everybody. Go to dinner, and everybody in my group was at the sports bar, and they're like, yeah, we got a half hour before our dinner reservation. So I'm like, well, I'm not drinking anything because I had too much. And my brother-in-law said, well, just have a White Russian. No big deal. Well, I ended up having 3 White Russians while we sat there. And that's the last I remember. No, it wasn't that bad, but I will say when I woke up on Tuesday, man, or on Monday the next day, I was not well. I didn't have anything to drink all day. And part of Tuesday, for that matter. Got back into the swing of things later, but that next end of Tuesday and then into Wednesday again. When you do it all inclusive, man, it is just that, all inclusive. So I felt, just from a financial standpoint, it was a prudent move to get my money's worth. Last thing I want to be is wasteful. At least that's what I tell my therapist. I did it so I wouldn't waste money. Ugh. Come on, sucker. Man, I got needles going everywhere. It's ridiculous. Copper all over the floor. I do want to show you what's in the back of my truck too. So what happens if I go through all this and I end up making an additional $1.25? And I think we can conclude it's not worth it. Yeah. Oh. Stuff is all Bear Bright though. I couldn't turn it in as Bear Bright, but I could melt it. Be nice stuff. Yeah, so leading up to that vacation, I had lost 35 pounds and I gained 8 pounds last week on vacation. Did everything I could to gain it all back in a week, but came up short. But I basically was eating meat and vegetables, and I had very little carbs whatsoever leading up to vacation. But when I got there, it was carb central. It's pretty much all I ate. Pizza, pasta, rice, you name it. Ugh. Desserts, ice cream. This copper isn't bare. This says varnish on it, which is fine. And I gotta say, all the women walking around the pool strutting their stuff, their fancy little swimsuit outfits and the whole thing, and they had all these fake eyelashes that were so obvious. Didn't know if I was in a red light district or a Vogue photo shoot. And those women had no business partaking in either one of those activities. But they sure like them fake eyebrows. Look ridiculous, man. So what do we have? 2.17 pounds. Jeez. I mean, that's not a lot. Makes me wonder how much of this is wire and how much of it is plastic though. Be nice if we had 2 pounds of copper, but that's not going to be the case. Last piece, then we'll get to weigh it and do some more figuring. Now, if you had a lot of it, it would be a total no-brainer. Like if you had rolls of it, strip this all day long. Go. Okay, so let me try to get figured out here. Then we'll get a weight. Okay, I'm going to put that in this bin. Pour some needles in, and a few more needles in, which didn't even register. 1.675. Okay, so let's do some math. 1.675 pounds times, let's see, we should be able to get, I'm going to say 350 just to be conservative. So 1.675 times 350, $5.86. Okay. So take that minus 326. So I made an extra $2.60. That was on 2 pounds of wire. So, well, that gives you an idea. So basically, if I divide this by 2, you're basically making another $1.30, an extra $1.30 in your pocket for every pound of that kind of wire that you strip, roughly. I will tell you, that'll melt up really nice. And let's take a peek in the barrel. That's more stuff that I have to strip. I wanted to show you what's in my truck before my battery goes dead. Just steel. Found a little copper, found a little wire. I wasn't there very long. I was there to pick up some Chinese food, and I went next door to the company that actually services my HVAC system here at my house. And I know that they said that they throw a bunch of motors and stuff away. So figured I'd stop by and see what was in there. And I will say there was a lot more in there, and a lot of it was buried. Probably some nice stuff, but I didn't have the time. Like I said, I was picking up some food since we had just got into town. Anyway, that is it. That is a quickie, but good to get back into the saddle. I appreciate you guys watching. Nice to be going. So you guys, we'll see you on the next one.